Well, friends, welcome to the mini live series tonight. I hope y'all are okay. Nanya, again, that big thanks to you for joining me today on the big live. But yes, so we're back to where we are. So in other words, it looks like we're going to get some movement now on the Anthony and Amber story as to where the story is actually going. It's clear they're at liquidation. Why they're at liquidation, we don't know. We don't know why they're liquidating at all, but apparently Anthony wants to liquidate. Let's go.
Babe, you ever think about selling the club? You know,
Selling the club?
yeah.
No, why would I do that?
I mean, now you're in the music business, and I know that's going to take a lot of your time, and I know the club, you work so hard with it. I mean, I don't want to see my baby tired like that. So, just think.
So all of a sudden, him want Amber to sell the club. Just out of left field now, Amber needs to sell the club. So remember, he sold the theater. Some people were on his side when him sell the theater, and him say, O'Neill, Anthony can sell his theater because it's his theater and blah blah blah, and give us the reasons why he's fine in selling him theater. But no, all of a sudden he wants to sell his club. We don't know why. Out of left field, he wants to sell the club. So the question now is, which is exactly what Nanya is saying today. She was saying, hey, she believe Anthony is a bit of a scammer because she can't understand why all of a sudden he wants to do a bunch of things that just don't make any sense at all. Why? Nobody don't know why he want to sell his club. All of a sudden he want to sell his club. That's all we're seeing with it.
Not just selling the club and get rid of it.
No, I like the club. I mean, yeah, I'm tired, but that's what comes along with working hard, and I like working hard.
But you don't need to work hard, baby. You don't have to work hard. Look, with just the hustle and bustle of the club, insurance and, anything can happen, fights and everything. I say, maybe just think about we just sell it and liquidate it and just keep the money.
So I think it's a good question that Angela was asking. Have the checks cleared yet for the theater? We don't even know if the checks have been cleared. But my question is it that they're at the end of their road where whatever monies they make from this club, they're able to sustain their lifestyle? Because it makes no sense. Business while it don't make any sense at all. Why would you sell the club and you're in what, your 30s or 40s? How much money so you have from that club that you're going to just sustain all of life? It just don't make no sense. Nanya have a reason to say the man is a crook. But here comes, M. Johnson, Anthony, at its finest in action. Well, hey, M. Johnson, we say the man a scammer, We say the man a scammer. Nanya said the man a scammer. I mean, I think she off right now by saying Anthony is a scammer. So maybe we need to ask the question at this point. Do you think that Anthony is a scammer? And y'all know the old drill. One for yes, and two for no. There we go. There you go.
No, we have security for the fights. Our insurance, we have the cheapest insurance out there. Like, I can handle the club. Yeah, I might be tired, but I can handle it. I've been handling it.
She has been handling it. That's the biggest piece of the puzzle. She really has. Mommy have a great comment on Mommy said, please, Amber, wake up. Anthony's all about Anthony. Shayla hopefully has moved on. You are correct. So Nanya today said, you know what, O'Neill, I really didn't want Amber to go back to Anthony. And Nanya, honestly, I don't disagree with you at all either. Honestly, I really don't disagree with you. I had said it eventually to that the two of them for just break up right now because this is no marriage at all. Because your husband is advising you to do a bunch of nonsense. That's what I think this is at this point in time. It don't make no sense.
I know.
And it is a consistent source of income. Why would I? Why? And it's growing,
Yeah,
Anthony.
but,
And even in this crazy economy, the club is growing.
but also, you don't wait until an asset starts to depreciate to try to sell it because then you can't get anything but pennies on the dollar for it.
But I'm not trying to sell it, though.
I know, but if what if something happens?
Hold on, man. Hold on. Before we even get anywhere at all, this is no business at all that he's giving Amber. Carl Cook says, hey, why does he want Amber to have anything? I don't know. I honestly know because this is not even the wisest move. If something is giving me a steady stream of income. Why am I going to sell it? It already has a certain amount of income that's coming in, which means that it's more valuable to a bank than anything else. Warren Buffett and them don't just sell investments like that. You know, the only time Warren Buffett or Jeff Bezos or any of the other billionaires, because Anthony is not a billionaire, any of the billionaires, them, the only time them sell an item is when it no longer is making money, it's no longer profitable. These are things that are making money. If they're making money, why would I want to sell it? It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
And then we do want to sell it. Then we're gonna not get anything pretty much for it. We'll have to damn near give it away.
Anthony, I think you are putting the cart before the horse. We're good. Nothing's gonna happen.
So no selling the club.
No,
Okay. I mean, oh, it's just throwing it out there.
I can handle.
All right. So basically this just going a scene of her, going into the whole, lovey-dovey kind of thing. Angela Atkinson asked the club is not his alone. Leave Amber with our club. Listen, the deal is this, and I'd said it before, and I think y'all picked it up from what I'm saying. Anthony wants Amber to depend upon him. That's where this power is for Anthony. He wants Amber to depend on him. I'm gonna give you all that, but hey, when you can think of it different ways. Does Anthony want Amber to depend on him solely? There you go. Want to know the drill? One for yes and two for no. That's exactly what's going on right here, sir. Dorothy, let's read some comments. Let's read some comments. Dorothy says, Amber, it's time for you to get rid of Anthony. He wants to take you for everything. Look at him. He's evil and a dirty man. Dorothy, I can't disagree with you. You are totally correct by saying all of this about Anthony right now. That's the deal right now. Rayanda, what you say, Rayanda? Rayanda says, I really hope Kai isn't his son so he can get some payback. I hate this character. It is, the character is what it is right now. And by the way, the funny thing is, we actually prefer to watch this because at least we don't know where it's going and we know it's not the tit for tat kind of thing. But I mean, we're getting something from it. I mean, we're trying to see if Amber making any movements. So that's what's going on right here. So, Goddess London says, why doesn't he come out of the club and let Amber have it solely? No, because he wants Amber to depend on him. That's the main thing of these guys. These guys are better when people depend on them. They want it to a level where you need them. If I were to equate it, some it is equated to how sometimes government operates. Sometimes certain governments are certain wealthy folks. Their deal is to get the population as broke as possible because if you're broke, then it's easier for you to be controlled. You understand? If I can control the food supply, then it means you can be controlled. That's exactly what Anthony was trying to do with Sheila, just the same. It's nothing different. It is nothing different. Artists, let me see what your thing is. That Anthony is a snake. He definitely is a snake. So I totally agree with that. Let's read some comments here. Denise said, Coco told him to be careful how he handles Amber. And you know what, Denise? Him not care. At this point, Anthony does not care how he handles Amber. It is up to Amber to defend herself. Right now, she needs to defend herself. Amber needs to defend herself from Anthony. There we go. One for yes and two for no. At this point, she have got to defend herself. Like Angela Atkins said the other day, she said, hey, it is what it is. Yes, Angela Atkinson, you have hit the nail on the head. Agree, goddess, because Amber running the club by herself. So he's not needed. No, he's not needed, but he needs to be needed. And you have people like that. Him want if he need him. That's the idea. Patricia, let me see exactly where you are. Patricia says, I do not understand why he wants to sell the club when he was doing what he wanted with Shayla. He had nothing to do with the club. She's right for not wanting to sell the club. Patricia, of course, she shouldn't sell the club. There's no reason for her to be selling this asset. It's an asset. This is an asset. There's no reason for her to, to do whatever it is. Carla S. said, Anton doesn't care about anyone but himself. You are absolutely correct. On the right in them aspects here. Remember we talked about Anthony before and we had talked about grace and whatever it is, and I kept saying he wasn't doing enough. And them said, boy, O'Neal, you're cruelly. It's almost like you think about this or you're thinking about that. I said, guys, trust me, this is not how men operate. Men don't operate like this. Men have different ways of operating. We just don't operate like this. When a man really love a woman, him operate different for her. Him really and truly thing there. So now the big question is, does Anthony really love Amber? In now that you're seeing more and more of Anthony, one for yes and two for no. There you go. So in your mind, does he really love Amber? So here we go again. He may want her to depend on him, but what about the musical artist? What he thinks he's going to get her money there as well? Possibly. That's the idea of it. The idea of it is to get her out of that as well. Because him tell her, say, she's spending too late in the nights and she don't have time for music business. Those are the things. He doesn't want her to do music as well either, Nanya. Him don't want her doing any of those things. He wants her to be out into the cold, dependent upon him. It's just a power play. It's one of those plays that they do. It's one of those plays. Rochelle, where you say, Rochelle, let me put you up. Rochelle says she needs to defend herself from Anthony, Wayne, and Shayla. She does. I think Wayne has more have Amber's best interest at heart than does Anthony. I'll be very honest with you. I'll be very honest with you. I think Wayne has at this point has way more love for Amber than Anthony. It's funny to say that. It's funny to say that. But I would say this. Wayne loves Amber more than our let's use the word care then. Wayne cares more for Amber than Anthony does. Let's use that and we'll question that. One for yes and two for no. Let's take some polls. There you go. This is what it is. Emma Mac said Wayne isn't a true friend. Well, the truth is, Emma Mac, honestly, we could say that, but we also could look at the mere fact that when she wanted an opportunity, Wayne gave her one. And you can't mistake that. And even in the midst of when Anthony came back and was trying to do things like we talked about today while Nani was on the live, and I said, Nani, look at how he operated with that when we were talking today. Wayne actually more wants to try to see her do something for herself. Him feel more like she get a raw deal. To be honest, him have more things for Amber than anything else. No, no, get me wrong, Wayne, of course, he might go want what him want because he's a man. But the truth is, when you really look on the grand scheme of things, Wayne cares more for her. Wayne care about women them more. Wayne is more attached to these women than Anthony. Anthony doesn't care about these women. Anthony does not care about these women. But hey, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Wayne loves money. Just like Anthony's a hypocrite. Carlin, I see what you mean with it. I would say, though, on the caveat of things, I would say, if you want to compare both of them, at least Wayne is trying to make these women make some money. Anthony doesn't want them make any money. And you have to look on that. A man is judged by how much he wants you to succeed. And if Wayne is trying to make these women succeed, then he would have care more for them than anything else. Because what he's saying is, I want you to not need me. Sure, you can need me for the other things them, but when it comes to money and taking care of yourself and certain level of confidence, I want you to not need me. Say what you want to say. I hear what you guys saying now, but say what you want to say. At least Wayne is putting in more effort to help these women and hurt them. Now, he may write the skit like that, but hey, that's what's going on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Half and half. At least. People say Wayne cares more for Wayne, but at least. Denise, I think you're correct. There has to be more to sell in the theater. Why show this sell if it was just a sell? There is more to it. There is something going on with the selling in the theater. Like Nanya say, some scamming. All me saying, ladies, is when it comes to a man, if a man is not trying to invest in you so that you can be self-sufficient, and you have a next man who is trying to invest in you to be self-sufficient, you can't really go around the man that is trying. Because the one thing he's trying to do is he's trying to level you up. So eventually, you don't need another man. You can't fault that man for anything at all. But let me read a couple more comments and then, because you know it's a mini live, so you know we can't go too much. Yeah. So again, Nani, I may agree with you. Wayne cares more than Anthony. Wayne knows Anthony's up to no good selling the theater. Him know. Him care more than her. I'm not saying Wayne is the is the end all be all. That's not what I'm saying. I hope you're getting what I'm talking about. Amber should tell Anthony to sign the bar over to her. Marian West may agree with that. That's exactly what I'm for ask her to do. Just like I said that, Melissa probably could have done with Mike. Oh boy. So Carolyn Brown says, we already know Anthony is a scammer. He let his friend take 1 million off the top of the theater and he didn't tell Rowan Wayne. Then he's trying to hide money with Pierre. He is a scammer. We have no identified that he is a scam. It's a big scam. Baker's Million says, buy him out. Baker's Millions may agree. I would have bought him out. Now, the speculation is Anthony is broke. This is a big one that y'all are coming up with. So let's ask the question. Is Anthony going broke again? That's a good question. 1 for yes and 2 for no. Is he going broke again? That is a very, very good question. Very good question. Angela Phillips, let me see exactly what we have in tonight. Angela Phillips says Anthony doesn't know how to be a husband. He's married to the business world and married to the money. That is correct. I agree with you 110%. 110%. Let me see exactly what your things are. Is Anthony going broke again? Some people are speculating and saying them believe Anthony will go broke again. Could this be the thing? Could this be the thing? Anthony going broke. Can you see that? Can you see that? Carl Cook said, Carl Cook, yeah, I agree with you. Amber should be more vigilant to what Anthony's doing. Yes, she should be, but she's much more struck in love right now. And that's why something you get caught up in a love. You can't get too caught up in a love. You understand? Somebody have a big super chat. Let's see who this is. Artist with the super chat. Artist says, Anthony is the biggest scammer on these skits. Artist say Anthony is the biggest scammer on these, and we've had a lot of scammers. So I'm gonna leave it to the artist question because it's big tonight. Um, let me ask the big question: is Anthony the biggest scammer? Because that's a good question. Scammer on the skits, because right now he's the man where I pull the most things. And funny enough, funny enough, or no. 1 for yes and 2 for no. Funny enough, people that wear suits and ties are generally the biggest criminals. People who wear suit and tie, want to know this, they generally are bigger crooks than how them talk about regular people. They generally are bigger crooks than anyone else. Bigger crooks than anyone else. But I think him trying to control Amber. Anyways, guys, a mini live. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for the night. Thank you for the super chat artist. You have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you.